I remember sitting on the couch watching the newscasts and telling my mom, and I think I was about 12 at the time, I think I want to be a newscaster. And my mom said, yes, John, you can be anything you want to be. My mom was a journalist. She was a print journalist. She had been a long-time newspaper editor and reporter. She was even the southeastern New Mexico correspondent for the El Paso Times. I mean, my mom would take me along on a lot of stories. I've always enjoyed news. Like, again, when I was a kid, you know, I always remember watching 60 Minutes on Sunday evenings or whatever when a lot of kids were out playing. I'm probably one of the few kids who in 8th grade got a subscription to Time magazine for Christmas. And then through my dad, well, he worked for the New Mexico Department of Labor, and so I told my dad I wanted to work in TV if possible. I was lucky to have a dad who was, who knew the general manager of the TV station in Roswell. I loved the business from the start. I'll never forget when I first went into the master control room at KBIM in Roswell. It was this darkened place, but with all these lights and all these boards, and I'm seeing all these buttons, and I'm like overwhelmed, and that was my first day. It looked almost like, the only thing I could compare it to is like, the deck of the Starship Enterprise from Star Trek. But once I started working with the people and I found that I could handle this, it reminded me of when Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer arrived on the island of misfit toys. There was something about the TV station and the people I met there and their personalities that were just a little different. They made me feel at home. I wanted to be a part of it. I was actually directing newscasts before the end of my senior year in high school. And then in college, I went to the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque, was a poli-sci major and minored in journalism. And then right out of college was hired by KBIM. And by the summer of 1985, I became the weekend anchor in July of 1985, and I've been an anchorman essentially ever since. And I've enjoyed it. I mean, I've enjoyed it. I've also been a reporter, and I honestly consider that the most important moniker I carry. So my dream as a kid was to be the main anchor in Albuquerque. Okay, so the reality became I'm an anchor in a major city along the Rio Grande and basically in the same part of the world, just a different place. But still essentially the same dream, and I'm living it. And honestly, I am glad I live in El Paso. But it is like, at the end of the day, it's the people you meet and it's the situation you're in, and I've always enjoyed it. So I've just always loved the business, and so I've been an anchor man now for 39 years, and but I'm about to give up the cape. I'm excited about the next chapter of my life and what's to come. That's why I don't really feel in a melancholy mood or anything like that, because I'm excited about what's next and what it can be. And I'm also like, I realize I've really enjoyed my career. I really do enjoy being a journalist. I do enjoy being a storyteller and sharing people's story. And really, when you meet people, I think the key as a journalist is to find what's compelling about any given story. And every story is compelling. And that's how you can impact their lives, I think. And that's the best you can hope for. Now, I will miss this. I mean, part of me is very nervous right now because this is what I've known for 44 years. It's what I've been working towards all that time. And it's been a wonderful career. I mean, and that's the other thing. I've had some wonderful adventures. I got to fly with the Air Force Thunderbirds. I got to go up the side of a cliff out at Waco Tanks with some expert rock climbers just to see, what the thrill was. It has been an adventure, and it's been a wonderful adventure. I mean, that is the great thing about journalism. And if people want to get into it, young people, I mean, it still is... journalism is still a wonderful profession if you're able to do it. It is, at the end of the day, it's a job I love. It's a career I love. It's a community I love. And I guess when you combine all that, you're happy. You're doing what you want in the place you want to be doing it. And that's all you can ask for, I think, in life.